Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another Genshin Impact video. So what I got for you today is another of the Phantom Flow challenges, and I'm here to bring you guys a guide on the Wavebreaker. This is the second last challenge. For this one, we're going to be going over all the enemies, all the challenge affixes, all the challenge criteria, and also going to be showing you guys some of the good characters that you can use in this challenge. And also I'm going to be showing you my team for both the Extreme Challenge and the Okuden difficulty. So without further ado, let's get into the Wavebreaker challenge. So firstly, let's talk about the Extreme Challenge, but I will leave timestamps in the description for other things like the Okuden Challenge if you just want to skip ahead to that. But for now, let's talk about the Extreme Challenge. First, let's talk about the enemies. So we'll be fighting Frost Arm Lava Churls, which are the big frosty boys, so you'll need a pyro character. And then other than that, it's just a bunch of small hilly churl grenadiers and fighters. Now, having looked at the enemies we're fighting, we're going to take a look at the characters that I'm going to suggest you take in. So firstly, I'll make these suggestions of Kazuha, Venti, or Jean. Reasoning behind these characters is because their Anemo suck-up effect is going to be very important and very useful in dealing with the small hilly churls, but not taking away from your damage against the big lava churls. Now, not everyone has these characters, so obviously, I'm not going to heavily suggest them, but I'm just going to say that they are very useful and strong. You can make do with Sucrose if you do have her. Her Q, her elemental burst, can work very well. The main thing that you want to bring in is a pyro character, purely because you are fighting against a Frost Arm Lava Churl, which has a Cryo Shield. Now, obviously, Electro characters can also get rid of it, but Pyro characters are the most efficient, so taking in something like a Zhang Ling or a Bennett can prove very useful. Now, depending on your character selection depends on your play style. So if you do end up running something like a Kazuha, Venti, or Jean, and if you're even comfortable with Sucrose, then you don't have to really focus on killing the small hilly churls. They'll die naturally to the heavy amount of AoE that you have in there. So if you do run these characters, you can focus mainly on trying to kill the big guys, the big lava churls, focusing them down, but then at the end you'll probably have to deal with a few small boys just to get those 20 kills in. But if you aren't running any of these 3 or 4 characters that I said, the Anemo characters that I suggested, then you're obviously running something a bit more single target heavy or a bit splash damage heavy, something like a Yanfei or a Ningguang. For these characters, you're going to want to focus on single targeting the big lava churls down as fast as possible, as fast as humanly possible for you. And the reason for this is that you want your damage funneled into the priority target of the lava churls, getting them down as fast as possible, so then you can easily switch over to just killing small hilly churls and getting them down as fast as possible. The difference in playstyle is there. Whilst the Anemo characters can just AoE everything down, the single target characters have to prioritize their targets onto the big guys first and then the little guys. In terms of what characters I'll be using, my first character will be a Yanfei. She'll be my main DPS, and she's running 4-set Crimson Witch. My second character will be Zhongli for a bit of defensive capabilities. He'll be running 4-set Tenacity of the Millilith. My third character is Bennett. He's there for a bit of healing and as well as damage boosting. He's running 4-set Noblesse Oblige for that 20% attack increase. And my fourth character is Barbara. She's not really using any artifact sets. She's just using HP artifacts to increase her overall healing. And she's just there for any emergency healing that I might need. And the challenge affix or challenge ability is similar to one of the Thunder Sojourn Electro abilities. And it goes like this. A special Thunder Dwelling is present during this challenge. When hit by a character's Electro attacks, it will charge up when characters who are affected by Electro or who carry Electro Granas are nearby. Once fully charged, the Thunder Dwelling will unleash a Thunder Shock that deals damage to both characters and opponents within the challenge arena. Characters will not be affected by Thunder Shock if they are carrying an Electro Grana. Opponents hit by Thunder Shock will take 50% increased damage for 10 seconds. The Thunder Dwelling will be unable to charge up again for 5 seconds after being activated. So in summary, it's just keep yourself with an Electro Grana at all times and constantly be attacking enemies, and the Thunder Shock will go off as much as it can and deal a very hefty amount of damage. But also because of that debuff effect, you want to be doing as much damage after the Thunder Shock as you can, because they take increased damage when they get hit by the Thunder Shock. The completion criteria is also super simple. You just have to defeat 25 opponents within 180 seconds, so 3 minutes, and defeat in total 2 Frost Arm Lava Churls with 0 character deaths. Very simple, very straightforward. Now, as we jump into the actual gameplay here, I'll just talk about what's going through my head and, what I'm thinking. So because I know what the affix is, it's this crystal here that explodes whenever I deal damage, or explodes after I've built up enough of the circle there as you're seeing it go up. I want to keep close to it and always have an Electro Granite available. As you can see, it does a lot of damage, about 60k plus easily on a lot of the low Healy Shells. So that is also a factor that you have to take into consideration when you're trying to deal with the small Healy Shells, is that a lot of them will die because of the little Electro Crystal there. And because my main DPS for the Extreme Challenge is a Yen Fei, dealing with the Frost Arm Lawa Chill's shield is no problem, and also the splash damage that she does is also contributing to a lot of the Healy Chill damage. So I'll leave you guys with this little gameplay here of me completing the Extreme Challenge, relatively easy. Moving on to the Okuden difficulty, there's a few things that change. So we go from having the Frost Arm Lawa Chill, where you need Pyro and Electro characters to deal with the shield. In the Okuden difficulty, you get a Thunder Helm Lawa Chill, which is the Electro version. In this one, I'd recommend you bring Pyro or Cryo to deal with the shield. Hydra can still do it, as can Anemo, but they're a bit less effective from my experience. On top of the main enemy changing, a few more enemies are added in terms of small versions. You've got the Electro Samochel, which can prove a bit more difficult as it summons a few Electro Totems that deal damage. But other than that, in terms of enemies, nothing else is really changed. The main thing is the Thunder Helm Lawachel. In regards to the challenge ability or affix, only one thing is added, and that is that the character will take more damage from the Thunder Shock in the Okuden challenge as opposed to the Shodan challenge. So if you do take damage, it will be a lot more in this one than the Shodan. And the completion criteria changes slightly. You need to defeat 20 opponents within 100 seconds, so you have under 2 minutes. And you also need to defeat 2 Thunderhelm Lawachels in total without dying once. Now, before we jump into the gameplay, I do change up my team composition as this is the Okuden challenge and I need a lot more damage. So this next build is going to be a lot less free-to-play player friendly, as it's about 3 5-stars that I use. So at the start, we have Zhao as my main DPS. He's there because he's very versatile and can avoid damage by jumping in the air a lot. He's running 2-set Viridescent and 2-set Gladiator. And in second place, we have Zhongli there for the defensive capabilities, running 4-set Tenacity of the Millilith. For my third character, I have Ayaka. She's there just for any added damage that she can do with her Elemental Burst and Elemental Skill. I'm not sure what artifact she's running, but she's running some DPS sets. And Barbara is still there in the 4th position for any emergency healing that I might need. She's running just HP artifacts, no set bonuses that I know of. Now, like I did with the Extreme Challenge, I'm going to talk you guys through my thought process doing the Okuden difficulty here. Now again, because I know this is a higher level, I'm going to have to output a lot more damage to get these big Llama Chills or Lawa Chills, whatever they're called. To get these big boys down, I need to do a lot of damage and do it consistently. And because he is Electro, I'm not going to be too focused on getting that crystal powered up whilst he has his shield up, because it's going to do Electro damage and then not do any damage to him. At this point, I'm also hoping that the Electro Crystal charge up is going to deal a lot of damage to the short or small Healy Shells and thus clear them out. And the only amount of damage that you'll really be taking is if you get hit by the Lawa Chill. The other Healy Shells won't be doing too much damage from my experience at least. The biggest advice I can give is that if you are struggling on the actual or your actual damage, do use the crystal in the middle of the arena very often. It is very helpful. It deals a lot of damage AoE wise and also just high value wise. And with that, enjoy this little gameplay. And there you have it, guys. That's the Wavebreaker challenge of the Phantom Flow event. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this guide video. If you did, hit that like button. And if you enjoy guide type content from me, then hit that subscribe button. Have an amazing day, everyone. I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out.